University Improv.
Hello and welcome to the second installment of the UIP, the University Improv podcast, hosted by myself, Ethan Drury.
And me, Sarah. Joining us today is two of our workshop instructors here. So we have Tyra and Bennett. And also hanging out with us today is our promotional executive, Amy. So we have all these lovely people in the room.
On the FIFA flow, the notorious goer, the notorious go, so let's go. Come on, get yourself in a seat. They gon' bring the yellow tape when we gon' make a scene. Let's go. Hello.
Hi.
I thought it would be fun while you introduce yourselves, kind of say a fun fact about yourself, kind of something interesting. Doesn't have to be improv related.
Yeah, go for it. Why don't we start with you, Tyra?
All right. Well, hello. My name's Tyra. I'm one of the workshop instructors at UIG. Fun fact about myself. When I shower, I usually face the nozzle instead of away from it. And I realize that that's like a not very common thing.
No.
That's not.
I
do that too.
Does
Right?
it like hit your face?
It
then?
doesn't because I'm taller than it. But
Okay.
I don't have that problem. I just do it anyways.
I live in a house now where it's like I have a handheld shower,
okay.
so I don't really have that problem anymore. But when there is a fixed shower, towards. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's me in a nutshell.
All right, fun fact from you, Bennett.
Yeah, my name's Bennett. I'm the other workshop instructor. I could do another shower fun fact.
Do it.
I routinely brush my teeth in the shower.
That's
No way.
Yeah,
rocks.
routinely.
Yikes.
It saves time, it saves water, and you're warm while you're brushing your
I
teeth.
would cut that out.
So I will not take criticism of it.
Amy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm Amy, the promotional executive, and fun fact about me is that I think about mole people more often than not, including when I'm in the shower. It's just like constantly on
Thinking
my mind.
about who?
Mole people?
Can you define?
Mole people are like, so basically, imagine like Y2K, alright? People are prepping for the apocalypse and they delve underground and they have all their supplies and whatnot. It's just people that are under the ground that still exist there, that are in hiding, and one day they're gonna come back up and revolt and probably eat the human race.
Okay.
That's wild.
It is.
How many are there? Are there a lot?
We don't know, Tyra,
There's probably none.
but we don't know. There could be tons, and that's what terrifies me in the
So,
shower.
with the inspiration
Yes.
of mole people,
Mole
Right.
people.
we are going to tell a one-word story like classic improvisers.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
Okay.
under
The
Ground.
There.
Are
dozens.
of.
Mole.
Like the animal.
Oh my.
Okay.
and
Structures.
Are
There.
Two.
support
Their
personalities
And
There.
strong
lifestyles.
because
the
Underground.
moles.
Can't.
stop.
Do you have class in here?
Yeah, like half an hour.
Oh, cool. Do you mind if we use the room before?
I'm not gonna tell anyone, so.
Sweet. Do you want to be in our podcast? If you're cool with chilling, we're cool with chilling. You might hear some funny stuff. Cool.
cool.
So that was the one-word story about mole people, and we
You
have a
used
guest.
more than one word.
Ooh, and see.
And
Wow.
scene. So I'm under the belief that we have a festival coming up.
Oh, are you under that belief?
Do we? Is
I think.
I don't know.
I mean, if you had seen our website,
Oh.
notoriousUIG.com, all of the information for our festival and all of our social media are all on there.
That's right. I
Wow,
remember
that's
hearing.
excellent.
Yeah, we do have a festival coming up.
I'm super excited
I'm
for it.
very, very, very pumped about it, for sure.
It's gonna be so much fun.
So Tyra, you are in charge of the ensemble this year. So
Yeah.
you applied this idea, and your idea got accepted, and now you're working with how many people to make this a reality?
10. I
10?
have 10 people in my ensemble.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the ensemble's called The Notorious House. It's a reality TV-based format where basically the concept of it is who's gonna get voted out of the house this week. And that's what we're going to explore through the 20 minutes. Juicy stuff. We're going to see showmances, alliances, drama. I want all the drama. It's going to be so much fun. Because there's going to be twists, there's going to be turns. I'm so excited with all the improvisers I'm working with. They're all great. And it's happening on the 27th, the last day of the festival. We're closing out the festival. I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a good end to the 4-day festival, which starts on the Wednesday of this coming week, so January 24th. And they'll be going until the 27th, as Tyra mentioned there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
4 fun nights of improv where you could always catch us in ECA L1190. That's the classroom. And that's the Edmonton Clinic Academy. Kind of looks like a building made out of Lego blocks.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Speaking of Lego.
What?
Lego!
Hear me out. All right. So, Lego can be challenging sometimes, especially if you want to make, a really, complicated structure out of Lego.
Oh, especially if you're I don't even have instructions.
Right?
I'm just going to wing it.
Exactly. So, anyways, I have a question here for Tyra and Bennett. And so one of my questions is, what's a challenge that you found through being a workshop instructor? Maybe something that you didn't anticipate having to find a solution to or that sort of thing going into the role. What was something that challenged you so far this year?
Well, great transition, by the way.
Didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was smooth. I would say probably the one that I didn't recognize coming was trying to teach to a diversity of skill sets.
For sure.
So I thought that there would be a lot of middle-of-the-road improvisers, but we have a lot of very talented improvisers and a lot of improvisers that are ready to learn and increase their skills. So it's interesting trying to find a balance in our lessons, Tyra and I, of being able to teach to people that already probably know a lot of the stuff that I'm bringing forward,
Right.
or people that are just learning it for the first time. And that's a really cool challenge to try to approach together.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like having it still be challenging enough to veterans of improv that they'll return and learn, and have it be a still learning experience for beginners, and finding that balance. But I think that slowly but surely through trial and error of doing these workshops
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you both have been doing an excellent job so
Well,
far
thank you.
this year,
Oh,
so
thank
it's
you.
much appreciated. So one of your responsibilities as well is you organize the jam officers and facilitate the jams through that way. And for people that don't know, do you want to just maybe explain what a jam is?
Yeah, so on Mondays we hold workshops where we teach skills on improv and such, and then Thursdays we jam out those skills. So we do fun games. It's a time where we just really practice our skills, have fun on stage. And we have officers that lead those jams. So they work under me and Bennett, and we give them total freedom to just write out a fun little 90-minute jam for all of our members to enjoy. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy Thursdays a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Our jam officers are really, really adept at their skills of improv, and they bring a lot of fun games to the table. And it's really fun to be able to have a chance, Tyra and I, to be able to show up on a Thursday and jam out some of those skills alongside our fellow
yeah.
improvisers. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that must be nice.
Yeah.
Being able to kind of put down the responsibility for one day of the week and join everybody else and be led by one of your jam officers. And then also that kind of gives everybody a chance to, have some fun, loose improv before we go back to the actual workshops that we're focusing on on the Mondays.
Exactly, yeah.
So you did a workshop that was platforms
I did.
earlier, and I really liked that workshop.
Oh, thank you.
But just because vibe was right, everybody was so supportive, and
Yeah.
I thought that the games you played or that you facilitated just led to us making interesting discoveries.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, usually when I plan workshops, I usually pick the topic, and then my process is kind of what exercises will help pertain to this topic, whether it be subconsciously or consciously.
Right.
So when we do one word at a time stories, kind of being able to build that platform of the who, what, and where with another partner, is kind of why I would include that into my platform workshop. So finding little things that'll just make it more fun and supportive within, because fun word stories are also fun, but they're also educational. So I'll sprinkle some of that in there.
Right?
Cool. So you just spoke there to some of your thought processes in organizing the workshops that you hold. Is there any specific maybe thought processes in a similar vein that you may have, Bennett, for the workshops that you have put together?
Yeah, I find that Tyra and I approach it in a rather similar manner. I tend to pick a topic first, or at least pick a general subject that I want to work on based on I think what we've seen in the notes that we've made before. So this recent month, Tyra and I performed a joint workshop about listening, because coming up for the festival, it's really important to, with your troupe or ensemble, be able to pay attention to what your fellow members are saying and listen alongside those long form scenes. So we've been kind of constructing that workshop as we've gone along. So yeah, we usually start with a general topic, and there's actually some really good resources online, like the Improv Encyclopedia, that I'll take a quick glance at to see if there's any coinciding games along with the topic that I'm trying to go about, and then maybe sprinkle some improvised games alongside, depending on what the workshop needs. So if it's kind of low energy, we might put in a high energy booster. And then I always try to include my favorite games in there, of course, like the 1 to 20 count or something like that.
Exactly.
Just some fun ones as well.
We nailed that one last time.
We absolutely did.
Yeah, just for those of you who are listening and you don't know, it's basically a group of people count to 20, one at a time, and if two people say the same number at the same time, then you have to start from the beginning at 1, and the challenge is to really feel your impulse and know that it's your impulse and go with it. And if you don't go with your immediate impulse, maybe somebody else will go with theirs. And the trick is to feel the group.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Reading the group and being able to see, is it the time to contribute or maybe like hold back? It's a very interesting game.
Yeah.
It really is.
And what's kind of funny about that too is, for the longest time when I would play that in high school improv or whichever, I always thought that it was just random chance or random luck. And then I would bring this forward to a group of skilled improvisers or actors, and we would nail it a lot better than I would in high school. It would take 1 or 2 hours to count to 10. When I brought it to my drama class, we counted to 30 on our first try, and we were very similar in our improv workshop because we all kind of know each other and were able to find out that impulse and when to jump in.
Okay, get this. On my high school team,
Yeah.
We had 8 people on our team, and we played the same game where we count to 20, but we all stood on one mime box together.
Stood on what together?
One mime box.
Oh, wow.
So basically,
Mime box?
yeah,
But,
Like a prop.
black box.
like with the black box in the theater.
But it's a real box?
Yeah.
It's not mine.
No, it's a real physical box, which is interesting why they call it that. But yeah, if you all hold hands around this one box and then you all get up at the same time, your balance will actually, you will all be able to balance on this one small box in the middle.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so then we're all up there, and even being closer and having to rely on each other to not fall off this box kind of helped with the unity of the group and getting us to 20.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I have a question for the two of you. How many years have you been in improv, in improv and the UIG?
I actually got my start in improv in the UIG. This is my first year, which was 4 years ago. So I've been doing improv for about 4 years now.
Yeah, I've been doing improv for about 6 years, and this is my second year with the University Improv group.
Okay, so you guys have seen festivals go down.
Yeah.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. My question for you is, what is the highlight of a UIG festival in Edmonton, Alberta?
Or maybe like a highlight that something that stood out to you throughout the festivals in the past. Yeah.
Ooh, good question. I would say just the variety of shows that all these out of town people bring in.
For sure.
And just the community that we build through all the improvisers through all the universities, because we all see each other when they come to our festivals and vice versa when we go to theirs. So it's just, you always build this bond of just every time there's that festival season, it's basically 4 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
You're just seeing all your friends and you're doing improv, which is great.
Totally.
The parties.
Yeah.
And those don't hurt either.
You're allowed to say the parties.
The parties.
The improv's great too.
That's what I'm looking forward to this year. I hear the parties after the festivals, they get great.
Yeah.
So.
How about you, Bennett? What's something?
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of having improvisers in the audience. I think that's really cool.
Yes.
Because they're just I find that the audience at the festivals, whether they're improvisers or not, they're just very, very supportive, and it's super fun to just put on a really good show and feel confident with the performance that you've given when everybody else is kind of loving it. And then, 5 minutes after performing a great set and sitting down, you get to see another great set, and that's really awesome. Just just like back-to-back rapid-fire shows, and it's really, really interesting to watch for sure.
Plus, the different cities have different styles.
Yeah.
They train improvisers differently. So then when they come and you watch them all, it's different. So the back-to-back imagery I really like, because it's back-to-back, but also so different.
Yeah, it's contrasted for sure.
Something I find really interesting and intriguing about the festival is more so like the work going into it ahead of time. I find whether it be with like troops or larger ensembles, watching them maybe perform together like a few weeks prior to the festival versus like the days leading up to or the day of the festival. There's just like this level, like a certain energy and like this growth that always happens within the group and within the improvisers, and it's so exciting to see the end product at the festival. Like, it's such an exciting thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There'd be like trying to finish line of being like, look how far we've come.
And it's such a fun experience to just kind of jam out with your troupe or your group, and then just have a lot of fun in rehearsals, and it just seems like you're just kind of goofing off and having fun.
Absolutely.
And then you make this really awesome performance at the end of it, so that's really awesome.
So fun and games aside.
Yeah.
Never.
Improv is fun! Improv is fun!
Improv is always fun. But question for you guys is, being the workshop instructors, do you guys have any advice for the people who are going to be taking your positions next year with the UIG?
I would say don't let the position intimidate you. That's something that I was struggling with a lot.
Yeah.
It was weird to connect with new members. I felt like I was like some sort of role model or something.
But you are. You do a good job of it.
Yeah. And in some ways I am, and I like that. But just in terms of like, I still just want to be like, they're still your peers and your friends at the end of the day.
For sure.
Don't be like scared to have a beer with them. You're not their teacher.
Yeah.
You know, they're your equals, and they're still your friends, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking along the same lines as well. It felt like I was going into a role of like note-taking, preparedness, getting ready to go, and then you got to enjoy the fun in it as well. So
Improv is fun!
It's
Improv
so
is
fun!
So yeah, I think my advice for the workshoppers next year would be to just kind of smile along the way and have a good time. And if you mess up or you stumble on your words, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. It's a very opening and inclusive group. And another thing that I would add too is really, really be open to suggestions of other people. I've learned along this way that not everything will go as the way that you planned, and it'll go better if you accept other people's plans as well as alongside yours.
Yeah. As a workshop instructor, you kind of always have to feel like you have to be right inevitably all the time. But taking notes from your student isn't like the worst thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
the unexpected sort of thing.
Exactly. That's like pretty much the whole point of improv.
Yeah, especially because I know that there are people that are way better at improv than me that I'm teaching, right? So it's really cool to have
And I'm
them.
still a student of improv at the end of the day, and that I
Exactly.
wants to learn. So it's kind of like it's more of a circle than a hierarchy.
For sure. Yeah, that's a really interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that it is important, like you said, to view others as like your peers, but you can also be like a role model at the same time, and that's very important too.
Finding that balance.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
I had a question, and it's on the tip of my tongue, I swear. So
We believe you.
Show me the facts.
show me the facts. Oh, it wasn't a question. It was a fact.
What's the fact?
Show us the facts.
So you were
Show us
saying,
the tongue.
I'm pointing at Bennett, by the way. Bennett, you were saying that people that you're teaching have different experiences as yourself, and you're teaching them, so you could always be learning. But it goes back to like different cities too. Like people who went to high school in
Winnipeg?
like myself. I'm coming with a different palette, and we all learn from each other in the UIG, but we always respect the execs.
Always.
We also respect one another too, just in general.
Everyone.
We play favorites.
Actually, yeah, Tyra's right. It's just a game of favorites.
I think it's cool teaching to different people that have not only different abilities, but also different intent with improv. And that's
Exactly.
really cool.
Absolutely.
Like Bennett and I taught a nursing workshop, actually. We taught a workshop to a bunch of nursing profs, just basically to help them reconnect.
A bunch of like moms and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're
It was
like
really
40
cool.
something, but they were like, and I was like nervous because I want to really diversify myself in teaching more like different levels of people who know improv. So I was like, oh, these people are gonna be so like hypothetical, because improv is very intimidating, like looking from the outside looking in. But seeing them just like grow and respond the way that I did like 4 years ago, it was so nice. It seemed like how improv is so universal like that.
Totally universal. That was the exact word I was thinking.
It reaches like all demographics, which
Exactly.
is cool.
fun.
Yeah, like we did like this thing at the end of it where they're like type in words that you had to use to describe improv, and it was like how you felt when you did the improv, and it was like creative and fun and imaginative
And new and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it was like it was really nice to see.
Yeah.
Improv in general is just so refreshing. Just because it
Yeah.
is new, it's always original. And it's important that you come to the festival because those scenes are never going to be performed again.
Yeah.
Excellent. Just a reminder, in case you've forgotten, the festival is indeed January 24th to 27th here on campus at the University of Alberta. And once again, you can check out our webpage, which is
It's notoriousuig.com.
And hit up that contact page because that's where you're going to find all of the social media connects. Like Instagram, we got Snapchat, Facebook's on there.
You lie,
And you will be able to see this podcast, and it's all a lot of fun.
They won't be able to see it, but they can hear it.
You'll hear it.
You can see it with your ears.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
Excellent.
to wrap things up, I'd just like to give a big thank you to our guests today. We've got Tyra.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've got Bennett.
Oh, well, you're welcome for having me.
And we've got Amy.
Yeah, my sole purpose was to inform you about the impending doom of the mole people.
You've succeeded.
And the festival.
And the impending doom of the UIG website.
Wait, no, doom, no, it's still good. It's still there. It's still good. It's not doomed.
It's a great website.
It
It's a
is.
great website.
It is.
I'm on it.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.
Bye.
UIG, University Improv.